Okay, welcome to another explanatory video for New World Order. This time I'm going to run through very quickly what players can expect to find in their team pack at their team table when they arrive at the game. And there's quite a few components. Hopefully some of these will be familiar from reading the game handbook, the player's guide. But this is hopefully a useful reminder. So on your table there will be a number of things. There will be a team sheet. This large team sheet has a summary of quite the main rules of the game and spaces where you can keep track of various parts of your team's components. There will be a copy of the military balance. That's a list of, roughly speaking, what the other countries have in the world. There will be a chart showing the known relationships between played countries in the world at the start of the game, and there will be a research centre sheet. I'll come back to this in a moment when I've looked at the other components. The key parts are in this pack here, which every team gets. So let's unpack and see what we have. There's quite a lot of bits and pieces. Try and keep them all together. You will have a copy of your team briefing. This is specific to your team. It will have your objectives and a summary of the things that you are trying to do, as well as a list of the game components you should have. So have a flick through. It's not long. Just have a quick read of what it is you're supposed to do as a team. Just a couple of pages, and there's a list of the game components you're supposed to have in your pack. If there's anything missing, then speak to control. You have a printed copy of the player's guide. You will have read the PDF, hopefully, but you've got that for quick reference. And then there are a number of other components. If your country has nuclear weapons, you will have one or more nuclear weapons cards. Don't need to go into too much detail about these. I'm sure no one will be using nuclear weapons in the game. And you will have mobilization cards. These are open out into triangular stand-ups. Now these are what you put on the main map when first of all when you mobilize your forces from their peacetime state, and then if you have nuclear weapons you'll have a DEFCON 1 card which tells the world that your military are ready to use nuclear weapons. Again, I don't expect you'll use that very often. You have a bunch of player badges with the roles of the various players laid out. Put these on so people know what your role is. There is a bunch of game money, megabucks. This is your starting money. You'll get some more money at the end of the first turn as a result of your PR track. You will have, most likely, some hypersonic missiles. These are the very long-range, deadly missiles that everybody has some of, which can strike any target in the world, but you only have a small number of them, more available from commercial sources. You then have special action cards. These yellow cards, these are really useful for doing things outside of the normal scope of the rules. There's all sorts of special abilities. I won't reveal India's complete set of special cards. Suffice it to say they have at least some cyber defense. So we just put these on the special action card slot on the player sheet, team sheet. You put your money on the money space just to keep it organized. You also have a slot for science credits. You don't start with any science credits, but at the beginning of each turn you can go to control and buy some, and you use those to support any scientists that happen to be around. You also have a set of influence cards. Again, I won't reveal what scores India has, but they have a stack of those, and we just keep those on your map, on your plan. Other components, there's some bits and pieces here which of interest. You have some Allied 2 markers, and these are when you create a new alliance with a non-played country. These go on the main map to indicate that they are now your ally. Keep those handy. And then we have your special agents. In this instance, it's Indian special agents for deploying on the map. You have your intervention forces for deploying on the map as and when you need them, and you have your standing military forces which go on the map, which in this case is India's modern core, its surface fleet, submarine fleet and carrier fleet. These units, the standing army units, armies and navies, go on the map at the start of the game before we kick off. You can decide where you place them, but obviously they must be placed in somewhere in your own country or nearby. In the case of your fleets, they can be placed in any sea area. And if you are allied with somebody who's agreed that you have troops stationed in their country, then you can start troops in that country. So that's a very quick run through of those bits and pieces. The other thing you have is your research centre. Every country has a research centre but doesn't have a scientist. Scientists will be wandering around trying to convince you of their pet project, and everybody starts with one research centre at level 1. So they have a level 1 card in here, and you will need to buy advanced levels to do the more advanced technology. The scientists will advise you how that works. But only scientists can do this, so you have to try and attract a scientist to your country. You can create additional research centres if you've got lots of scientists who want to work with you, but any new research centres start off without the level 1 card. So you get level 1 card to start with, and then subsequently if you want to increase it, you can buy blank sheets. And that's about it. Good luck.